morning. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Tarra Kruper, and I am an educator with Wella Education and also GHD. And thank you, Salon Republic, for having me. I'm really excited about today's class, where we will be talking all about Master Instagram. So we do have a few classes from Wella. One is called Master Instagram 101, and we have a new Master Instagram 201 that I'll be talking about. And first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. So, I am a hairstylist. I have been an educator for 7 years. I live in Los Angeles, California, and also Hawaii. So, I don't even know if you can call that bi-coastal. I'm mainland and island, I guess. But I'm originally from New Jersey. I moved out to Los Angeles. I started my career all over again because I had to rebuild clients in the salon, and Instagram really helped me do that. So I'm super passionate about this class. It's something that I've enjoyed learning about because I've integrated it in my own career. It's allowed me to build a new clientele on the opposite side of the country. It's allowed me to build a new clientele on an island, in addition to create great connections with people in your industry, to stay in touch with clients, and all of that good stuff. So um, I really do love Instagram. I'm super passionate about using it for your career and for connections. And I am monitoring the chat. I'm also teaching, so if you do have something pressing, please interact, ask questions. I would love to make this as interactive as possible, but I do have a lot of information to get through, so let's get started here. Okay, so first I want to talk about what I'll be talking about today. So, to do a quick refresh of Master Instagram 101, because today I'll be talking about the more advanced version, but it is important to understand the basics of branding and knowing your audience, figuring out a strategy before you start to outreach and try to network with more people and actually gain a greater audience. So I'll be talking about our curriculum for Master Instagram 101, and I'll talk through what that is. Then I'll get into Master Instagram 201. And also, these classes are more in depth than what I will give you in the next hour. So if you are interested in taking a deeper dive into this information, you can message me on Instagram. I'm at Tara Takes Over, and it's two R's in there. So you can find me and message me. We also have this on wellaeducation.com, in addition to some Instagram lives that we do through Wella Ed on Instagram. Okay. Okay, so in Master Instagram 101, we talk about creating a strategy, finding your audience, branding, optimizing your account, and captions and hashtags. Also, creating content and tracking success with what you are posting. So, I'm going to walk through that a little bit because this is really important to understand before you even start to try to grow your brand. You need to know what your brand is on Instagram. So, starting off here, creating a strategy. When it comes to creating a strategy, hairstylists are typically trying to do one of two things. We are either behind the chair in the salon and we are trying to attract new clients into our chair, or we're a hairstylist that wants to break into education and we want to attract stylists who follow us that we are giving tips and tricks on formulas and placements and techniques. And a lot of times, what happens is if you're not clear on one of those two avenues, you tend to speak to everybody, and then no one really hears your message. So, the best way for you to come across to your audience as confident, like you know what you're doing and you know what you want and your goals and everything, is to be really focused on who you're talking to. Also, we know what that is like because when we are on Instagram as the consumer, we are being fed things through our Instagram based on what we're interested in. So there are companies out there that have dialed in on you as their ideal client. So they know what you click on, they know where you like to go, what you like to see, and they market their material directly to you. So we have to switch that and do it from the other side. So if you are a stylist and your goal is to grow your clientele, then you need to be speaking directly to your ideal audience. So think about your perfect client. Who would you love to have in your chair? So, and then just to throw out some ideas, a perfect client would be someone who's consistent with their schedule. They show up for their appointments, they pre-book, they have money to spend on their hair, they care about how they look. So picture, what would that look like in a job? What is their career look like? Where are they located? What stores do they like to go to? Where do they like to go shopping? What do they like to do for their hobbies? Thinking of all those things will allow you to really hone in and target them. Now, the other type of stylist you could be is more educator. So then in that case, you would want to dial in on who's your target stylist that you're talking to. Is it someone who's new in the industry and they're starting out and they're looking for just some advanced tips? Is it someone who has been in the industry for maybe 5 to 10 years and they're just looking to rethink about things or relearn the basics? Is it someone who is a little, they already know all of that, and now they're just looking for inspiration to get the love of their career back again? So figuring out who you're talking to stylist-wise is really important as well. What salons are they located in? What are they looking to get from you? And then that will translate into everything that you post. So that's number 1, knowing your audience. So number 2, branding. Branding is very important. And as when you say a brand, you can think of so many brands out there as far as technology and fashion and, think of your favorite clothing company, your favorite jewelry company. They have done so well with branding and because they have found you and they have made you a loyal customer. So think about, what is it that you love about that brand and what kind of brand are you? So, have you even taken accountability to know yourself as a brand? What's your brand voice? Are you funny? Are you serious? Are you sarcastic? Are you really informative? And a great way to figure out how to use your voice on social media is to think about, how would you talk to your favorite client? So I like to imagine, if I were to see my favorite client walking down the street, how would I say hello to them? Or if they were to be sitting in my chair, how am I speaking to them? Because you want the person reading what you're posting to feel so comfortable with you that they want to sit in your chair. They want to come get their hair done by you. They want to take a class by you. So, figuring out your brand voice is very important. In addition to, what is the look of your brand? Is it light and what are the color? What's the color scheme? Is it light and airy photos? Is it bright colors? Is it contrast? Is it black and white? And think of the accounts that you love to follow and what do you like about those accounts? What draws you in? Is it that their photos are all different? Is there a common theme that you see throughout their grid that makes you want more and want to follow them? So knowing your own brand is important, but it's kind of hard to figure that out. Sometimes, we get a little bit stuck or we don't even realize that we're really a brand. But even no matter where you work or what your specialty is or where you are in your career, you are definitely a brand. It's something that I didn't realize until later in my career. I've been in the industry for over 10 years now. And for the first few years, I worked inside of a large salon, and I always thought that I was a part of that brand. So I never really took ownership of myself as a brand. But now in Salon Republic, you have your independent, you have your own suites, you are a brand, so you know yourself as a business. And your clients think of you as a business as well. So it's really important to take ownership of that. When it comes to optimizing your account, there's a few things that are really important. So, and the goal of this, optimizing your account, is really talking about your Instagram handle, your bio, your grid. So, the photos that you post. When someone goes to your page, they are judging you within less than 5 seconds. So, what do you have there that's captivating them enough to want to follow you or want to message you or take action to meet you or connect with you. So your handle should be something that's really easy. If you meet someone, you should be able to tell them what it is and have them find you easily. Um, I always think of this funny story with one of my clients. We were exchanging Instagrams, and she she had a bunch of zeros in her handle, and she couldn't remember how many, and it was just and as she was saying that, it made me laugh because I was thinking about this class and how if you can't even remember your Instagram handle, or it's kind of hard to find with, a lot of underscores, or it's really a long or hard to spell word, it's going to be confusing when you're trying to tell someone to follow you as well. So think of something that is either your name or it's something that relates to the beauty industry so that people know what you do as soon as they hear it. Another great option is just something that's catchy or clever. So, um, and there's also you can Google it. So if you're kind of stuck on an Instagram handle or you feel like you need to refreshen it up, you can always just go into Google and look up interesting ways, or I don't even know. I've Googled it before. Interesting ways to get creative with an Instagram handle. And all these things pop up. People write blogs about things all the time. So a lot of the things we're talking about right now, it can be found with a little research. If you get stumped on ideas, because I know we're being creative behind the chair, we work really hard, and this is a whole nother job, but it's a good idea to get creative with this and really put time in and focus on it. So come up with that great handle that's really catchy, that people will notice you by and remember you by. Now there's the bio. So the bio is really important. It should definitely have your name. A lot of times, if your handle is not your first and last name, you can go to someone's bio and their name isn't anywhere and you don't know what their real name is. And also, if people are searching for you and forget your handle and are searching your name and your name is nowhere on your profile, then they can't find you. And you really want it to be easy. You want people to be able to find you. So definitely include your name, include your location of where you are, your expertise. So, what sets you apart from all the other hairdressers out there? No matter where you're located, but if you are in the greater Los Angeles area, there are tons of hairdressers and they're really talented also. So, what sets you apart and why would someone want to come to you or want to learn from you? So, if you are doing, and if you're not sure about what your expertise is, a great thing to do is to ask a close friend or an honest friend. Ask them, what do you think I'm really good at? Maybe it's balayage, maybe it's color corrections or hair cutting. Whatever it is, hone in on that and put it front and center in your bio so people know as soon as they see you. Also, something that will connect you to your viewer. So maybe you love animals or you love adventure, you travel, whatever it is, something unique that, lets them know that you're a human being, you're not just a hairstylist, so that they can relate to you. Because if people start to see something that is relatable, they'll feel like they know you even through social media. So think of this as your handshake. What we used to do in person is now virtual. So you have, your elevator pitch. What do you want someone to know about you within the first few seconds of meeting you that's either going to make or break the relationship? And you want it all right there. On your Instagram, you can also have a link to a website or a booking site for them to book appointments or classes with you. And that's really important to have that right there so it's nice and easy and tell them what to do with that information. So if you have a link in your profile, right above it should say something about use that link to book an appointment with me or check out my website for this information. So have a call to action and a reason for people to want to click that and find out more. You can also have highlights on your page, which are those little bubbles that go underneath your bio, and they can be highlights as far as pricing, location, how to book an appointment. if you are a hair colorist, you can do blondes, brunettes, reds, and have different color under there. You can have client selfies, so you can get really creative with it. And as far as education classes, you can have how to style at home, hair cutting tips and tricks, product recommendations. So you can get creative with the highlight section. And then your grid. Your grid is also very important. So what are those photos that are really going to captivate that viewer and have them want to follow you to see more and want to engage with you? Do you have any questions so far? See here. So do you have any questions in the chat as far as anything I'm saying? Is this something you've heard of before? Um, are you rethinking what you have up there and maybe planning to reorganize and restructure? It's always okay to rebrand yourself. So if you have had a direction you're going in the past and now you want to switch it up, it's totally okay to do that. You can delete everything. You can redo your bio. You can redo your Instagram handle, and no one will care. That's the best part. We put so much pressure on ourselves to have it be so perfect and feel like people are going to notice and hold us accountable, and no one actually cares. So if you want to redo your brand, go ahead and do it. Um, Also, when it comes to posting content, I know a lot of people get really stuck as far as what to post and having it be so perfect. And I'm here to tell you that yes, it's important to have it be on brand and something that is aligned with where you're going in the direction of your Instagram, but also consistency is really important. So if you are trying to make everything so perfect that you aren't posting, then that's a problem. So you have to find a balance between that. And you can always post something and go back and delete it later if it's not fitting for your brand. So talking about creating content, because these are all the important steps to get your brand ready to start you doing outreach, right? So you want to make sure your page looks great. You want to make sure you're really aware of your brand and consistent and you know what it is and it's clear to any viewer what your brand is. And then your content. So when you're taking content, you want to make sure that the background of your photos are intentional. So maybe it's a totally clean background, or maybe you have products in the background that you used on your client because you are selling those products. But everything you have should be really clear and intentional. Also, the lighting is so important. I think it is the most important thing for your photo. Second to your work, of course, you wanna make sure your work is great. But lighting is so important. So if you are using filters, make sure that you're using a consistent filter and that it's not really changing your work so much to the point where you don't really recognize it and you can't really recreate that. So next, is I think daylight is the best lighting. Sometimes if you're doing a really long transformation, the lighting can change throughout the day. There's some parts in the salon that are great during certain hours, and then the lighting changes. There's golden hour, then there's more fluorescent lighting, warmer lighting. I find that natural light is the best, especially for hair color. But a ring light is also great to have, and you can change the lighting settings on a ring light, and they are affordable. You can find them for $40 on Amazon. It's really easy to find. Also, Wella Education sells a virtual kit. So if you are interested in doing more videos at home or even recording yourself doing education, recording yourself in the salon, you get a ring light and a whole setup that makes it really easy to do that. So you're capturing all the content you need. So yes, ring light is great, but daylight is better. And if you are going to be capturing content and you are doing a huge transformation, it's great to give your client a heads up. Maybe come a little early, or you can even tell them wear a white or black t-shirt so that it looks plain and it's exactly what you want for your brand. And then If the lighting is different, let's say the transformation takes a really long time, you can always have them come back and take photos on another day, which sounds like a lot, but when you put that much time into what you're doing, it's important to get those photos because that is going to be on your brand and that's going to attract new customers, new stylists for your classes, right? So you want to make sure you're capturing that content. So having your client take selfies later on, and another tip with that is to instruct your client on a good selfie to take. A lot of times I tell my clients, "Oh, please take a selfie of this when you get home," because the lighting in the salon it's late at night, it's too fluorescent, and I'll tell them, "Go outside in natural light, don't be directly in the sun, and make sure it's in a clear background." Because there are times when I haven't done that, and my clients and they're great, but they don't know what I'm looking for, right? So it'll be a selfie in their bathroom, and the lighting is kinda weird, and there's clutter around, and although I love that they're helping me out, I definitely can't post that. So telling them what you're looking for, your clients are so happy to help you out because they are proud of their hair that you just did, and they wanna be on your Instagram, right? So have them work with you and think of ways to capture content so that you maybe don't have to do all the work. But if you are, have it be consistent and really good quality. If I do someone's color or it's mainly color that is hard to capture when the lighting changes. So if I ask them to come back on a different day, I'll just offer that I'll refresh some waves or curls for them. I'll do a quick style and just take photos, and I'll let them know it'll be a really quick appointment, and you'll be in and out of here, and you'll kind of get another style out of it, and then in return, you will get great photos for what you did. So content is really important. Also, figure out, create a mood board of what you like to see on Instagram and, um, and what you want your content to look like on your grid. So I think it's a really good idea to look up your top 5 accounts that you love to follow and figure out why you like to follow them. What do you like about their photos? What do you like about their color scheme? What do you like about their captions? Figure out what you like because that is part of the process of figuring out what people like to see from you. And then also figure out what's missing. So if someone that you really love to follow is posting something, but it's leaving you with a question in your mind, then post something similar to that, but answer that question for your audience and keep that conversation going. And I'm actually about to get into captions and hashtags. So does anyone have any questions on creating content that we just went over? If you do, answer in the chat and let me know. If not, feel free, if you're watching this class after, feel free to message me with any questions. Okay, captions and hashtags. So when you're captioning your photo, make sure it's something that really adds to what you're posting. It should be something that is captivating and drawing in the audience, and it has a purpose, and that your caption also has a call to action. So if you do an amazing balayage and you post it, and your caption is just saying, "Oh, look at this amazing balayage," and then that's it, chances are, your viewers will be scrolling through and they'll see that, but they're not really being asked anything. They're not really being invited to comment or engage with you. So they probably won't. They'll probably keep scrolling and maybe they'll like it. But if you post this beautiful balayage and then you're speaking directly to your audience and you talk about how long that service took, how much it cost, and tell that viewer how to book with you, chances are they will. People like to be told what to do. Even myself, I like to scroll on my Instagram feed, and if someone says, "Do you relate to this?" Like or comment or drop a heart. I'm more apt to do that if they're telling me to versus if they're not. If someone is asking me a question and kind of opening a conversation, I'm more likely to engage in the comment section. So, a tip or some homework for you would be to think of some call to actions that you could write under your post to make someone engage with you The more engagement, the more other people will see it, the more you will start attracting an audience. So, coming up with that call to action is really important. So, one of them can be how to book with you, one of them can be DM me for a consultation, another DM me to book a class. So, give that person something to do. Another call to action could be comment on this post and tag two friends. And so you can see here, these are some ideas to get this going. Also, when you're on Instagram, start paying attention to what other people are telling you to do. What are the call to actions under their posts? And start writing down ones that you like and taking inspiration from that. Captions are really important. Another thing are hashtags. Hashtags are how people can find you and how to cross brand and make sure that the content you're posting can also live on another page on Instagram. So you can use up to 30 hashtags per post. My advice would be to think of hashtags that are relevant to your brand, to your audience, and to potential new clients that you're reaching, and write them down in the notes section on your phone, and then just copy and paste every time you post. It makes it really easy, and you can kind of customize it if you're posting, a red or a blonde shade, then you can switch up those hashtags. And you are using hashtags, nobody will see them. So make sure you are public so that people can find you, people can see all of your content that you're posting, and you can really engage with your audience in an amazing way. Another thing that we talk about in our Master Instagram 101 is tracking success. So that is really important. That is also a part of being public, but also having a business profile. So, a business profile allows you to track insights and analytics into your audience. You can see what time of the day people like to be active online. You can see where they're located in the country or the world. The cool thing about Instagram is you can connect with people in other countries, even. So, different, and then within our country, we have different time zones. So, being able to see when people are logging on and where they're located, it helps you customize what you're posting for your audience. That way, people can see it more, people will engage more, and you can really speak to your audience. So, looking at insights is really important. It's also important because it tells you the age range of your audience. It also tells you the gender, right? So, and that is important if you are really trying to attract balayage clients, or you love men's haircutting and barbering, but most of your audience is a different gender than what you're trying to speak to, or a different age range. If you love doing gray coverage and all of your audience is, 12 years old, it's not going to translate. They're not going to be booking appointments with you. So you want to make sure that you're speaking to your ideal age range, your ideal clientele, where they're located. If I'm really trying to grow a clientele in Los Angeles and I look on my insights and all of my audience is located in New York, that's not helping me. So you want to figure out a way to tweak that so you're speaking to an audience in LA. Does that make sense? It's really cool when you start to hone in and focus on these things because you really do start seeing such amazing results. And something that I've been able to do because I am originally from the East Coast, so all of my friends and family and clients over there were my main following. And then I moved to Los Angeles and I'm on different time zones. And I also would still travel back and forth and do clients in New Jersey, New York area. So, what I've been able to do through Instagram using all of these tips that I've just told you is I can actually post something and market it to clients across the country. And what I'll get into in the The next 30 minutes is actually paying to promote your post, and you can target your I can target people in New Jersey from Los Angeles so that they see that I'm taking appointments and I can actually book new clients from that. So it really is amazing. And once you start focusing in on that, you'll see that you will start attracting your ideal client. You'll start making money from Instagram and having brands want to promote you, having new clients contact you, and new relationships. So it's really amazing. Do you have any questions? If you do, please write it in the chat and let me know. That is pretty much everything that we would talk about in Master Instagram 101. That class can be anywhere from 1 hour up to 4 hours, even a 2-day class. So I just gave you a really condensed version of that. Some tips that I would like to give you are that all of that information is really great. And this might be the first time you're considering that. So really take your time to figure out what is your brand, what is your goal in the industry, and where do you want to focus on, and even what's your 5-year plan, right? If you don't know that stuff, everything else is going to be really hard for you. If you're really clear on what your brand is, where you want to go in the industry, it's going to be a lot easier to get there. So the first part of it is just knowing, and the second part is putting it into action. There are so many books out there. If you are interested in where do I even start with creating a brand, um, there's so many books out there. Just look up books for helping you brand, or even just figuring out whether you want to be a platform artist or you want to be a freelance hairdresser, you want to be on set, you want to grow your salon suite and have more people in there with you. Whatever your goal is in the industry, it's really good to get clear on it, but then figure out, how do you want people to know you? How do you want to market yourself? And all of it just ties in together. And it is a lot, but if you think of it as fun, it makes it a lot easier because, it's a really exciting creating your brand and figuring out what you want your logo to be, what you want your website to look like. All of that stuff is so much fun, and we are creative. And if you don't want to do that at all, and this sounds like a lot to you, there are companies that you can pay. If I'm assuming that you're getting them too, I get messages all the time on Instagram in my DMs. Hi, this is my name, and I can help you grow your following, right? There's people constantly trying to have you, let them take over your Instagram or use them for helping you build. Another trick you can do is ask an assistant who wants to grow and learn and just pay them a little bit to have them do this stuff for you. Once you know what your brand is, they can post for you. So it's good for you to know all this, but you also can outsource it. But it's just, why not just save the money and do it yourself? Um, and it really will help you grow your audience and grow your clients. So now we are going to get into more advanced, some advanced stuff here for Instagram. So this would be working with the Instagram algorithm, because I'm sure you've heard of the algorithm, right? It's ever changing. It's a love-hate relationship. Um, every once in a while, you're on Instagram and you start seeing everyone posting about how the algorithm is changing. Like, oh, they just changed it again, and now you can't see my post. So everything that I just taught you is important into getting your brand ready and right so that when the algorithm puts you into the mix, people see you and want to follow you. But understanding how the algorithm works is really important as well. So I'm going to talk about that. I'll talk about how to grow your audience with outreach. So not only just cater to the audience you already have and, post things that may attract people, but how to actually hone in on it with hashtags and attract new clients, new connections, and whatever you're looking to grow for your Instagram. Also, I'll talk about some new functions on Instagram and then how to use third-party apps to help you stay consistent and organized with your brand. So first, going into the algorithm. All right, so The algorithm is how Instagram chooses what you see and the content that you see and who you see it from. Because whenever we go on Instagram, we're scrolling and you are being fed things based on this algorithm, based on your interests. What you do in your activity is how people are targeting you. So it goes interest, relationship, timeliness, frequency, and following. And I'll go into what each of those are. Your interests. So Instagram analyzes your scrolling activities. So when you're scrolling, there's actually technology now that your phone can tell how long your eyes are looking at something on your screen. Not only that, it can also tell where you're looking on your screen. Super creepy. On the marketing side, it's great. On the consumer side, it's a little scary. But companies are doing that to you. There's documentaries on Netflix about this as well that tell you, social media and how people are tracking you, but understand how other people do it can also help you figure out how to do it for your client, right? So, yeah, it's kind of weird, but if you are okay with it, you can use it to your advantage. So, your interest. So what are you clicking on? Be very mindful of the posts that you are clicking on because that is what Instagram is going to show you more of. Another The next step in this is relationship. So, whoever you talk to the most, whoever you engage with the most is what you see the most of on your feed. So, of course, you're going to see your close friends that you talk to, even your direct messages. Those people will start popping up first on your feed and also in the stories on the top. So, it's like for me it's funny because I think of dating and, like, whenever I start dating someone and then we're friends on Instagram, I start seeing them all over my feed, and I don't like it. So then I intentionally don't click their stuff, and I don't do it because 'cause I'm like, "I don't want this person all over my feed." But it's funny because if you want someone to see your stuff, if you want a company to see your post or if you wanna get someone's attention, start interacting with them. Go to their page, like all their posts, message them, comment on their photos. Doing that will help you, uh, create a relationship with them, and do it in an organic way, and also, be choosy about who you do that to. So, pick people that are on brand with you, that you want to connect with, that you want to see more of their stuff, and, get a little creative with it. If you are a stylist looking to build your clientele, then think about local businesses that have the client that you would love that goes to their business already, right? So a coffee shop nearby, a clothing store that you love, go to that page and connect with them. Maybe offer a community discount or you would love to do their hair and brand or however you want to do it. Start connecting with your community and start being intentional with who you interact with on social media. So, the people that you want to repost your work, the clients that you want to keep in touch with, those are all people that you would want to make sure that you're constantly engaging with. A great thing to do is look through your list of followers or people that you're following and re engage with them. Chances are that the people on your feed aren't even seeing your posts because there's so many people they're following, there's so many people posting on Instagram. So re-engage, use that relationship tactic for the algorithm and re-spark that relationship. So I go through my followers and I will just like go through the list. I'll do, 10 people a day and I'll go to their page. I'll like a few of their most recent posts. I'll comment on something and I'll just re engage that relationship so that you get more people viewing your content. If you are not posting consistently, then chances are no one is seeing your content. So you'll post something and you're wondering, why aren't people seeing this? Why am I not getting interaction on this? And it's because no one is even seeing it. Your insights actually show you that. So they can show you how many people see your post versus how many interact with it. And, if you go to your followers list and it's a huge number, and then you go to your insights through the analytics and see how many people even see your post to begin with, it's dramatically lower. It could be a few hundred people are seeing it versus a few thousand people that follow you. So being aware of that and re-engaging in those relationships is huge. Also, timeliness. And I mentioned this before, but you go to your insights and you see when your followers are most active online. By seeing that, you know when to post. So if I go onto my insights and I see that my followers are most active, today's Monday. So it's Monday and they're most active online from 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 p.m. And maybe around 3 o'clock it spikes. I'm going to make sure I post at 3 o'clock because more people will be on, more people will see it, and then it'll work in the algorithm with you, right? If you post at 1 o'clock in the morning and your viewers, your audience, they're on at 12 from 12 to 6, no one's really seeing it because since you've posted, so many more people have posted during those times and it's just kind of lost in the feed. So it's okay to delete things that didn't get a lot of attention and repost them at a proper time. You can do whatever you need to do to get noticed and get people to see your content. So definitely pay attention to timeliness. Also, frequency. So if you are really active on social media and your clients and your audience is really active, then everything is going to be more in chronological order of what they're seeing. If if they are not that active on social media, then when they do log into Instagram, Instagram's going to curate their feed for them based on their relationships with people and who they interact with most, and also what they click on most. So that is good to know because um, that makes relationships really so important. So that's why you really want to be engaging with your audience all the time. And then last is your following. So you want to make sure that you go into your account and you remove the followers that are inactive, people that aren't really engaging with you. It's actually doing more harm than good on the algorithm. So you want to remove inactive followers and also be really particular with who you follow because that is what Instagram is curating for you. So all of this stuff to be aware of. And you want to keep this in mind when you're using your Instagram, when you're branding and everything like that. Also, it's always changing. So right now, this is the algorithm. Soon it will change. It's probably changed since this even happened. So how can you stay up to date? You can go online and Google. Google what is the Instagram algorithm? And people have blogs about it. There are businesses, like I said, that do this, and there's so much information out there. So if you want to stay on top of it, look up most recent features on Instagram. Look up algorithm, and it'll constantly be updated. Okay, I'm just gonna have some water. Does anybody have any questions? I'm talking a lot. Hopefully you're getting a lot out of today's class. Okay. All right. So growing with outreach. We just have a few more things to go over, and I know it's been a lot today. Okay. Growing your Instagram with outreach. So outreach is, like I said before, not just speaking to your audience, but engaging with people that may not follow you and that you actually search for. So reconnecting with your followers is great because then you will start showing up on their feed and you're re-engaging. But outreach would be, think of a hashtag. You already did that 30 hashtag list and you saved it to your note section. So think of hashtags in there that a client or stylist would use to find you. So something that they use a lot of, and you can pick 3 hashtags and type it into your search and then go to the hashtag page and click on a few accounts that really stand out to you that you really love and go into those accounts and follow and comment and like their posts and message them, whatever you want to do, but engage with people using that hashtag. um, you're going to see that you will start attracting new followers and more people will see your work and you'll start building your business on social media. So pick 3 hashtags, go to that hashtag page, engage with a few accounts on that page, and start seeing people follow you more and engage with you more. And all of that will have more people find you on the explore page. It all is, it's all a circle, right? It's all feeding each other. The more you engage, the more people see you, the more people will see you, and the more money you'll make in the salon because you'll get new clients. So definitely do that as far as your outreach, and set a goal for yourself and track it with your analytics. So you can actually see the new people coming to your page and how that's working for you. Another thing you can do is pay to promote your posts, which I mentioned before that I do from LA. I can actually market my material in New Jersey. So it's an amazing way to use Instagram as a business tool, and it doesn't cost a lot. You can do anything from $1 a day of a promotion up to, I don't even know the limit honestly, but you can spend $30 a day, $60 a day, and you can actually pick the interests of the people that you want to target. So, to break this down for you, when I did this from LA, my intention was to book clients on the East Coast that I haven't met yet because I already have my previous clientele since before I moved here, but I wanted to target new people as well. So the interests that I put were beauty, hair, fashion. Um, started thinking of people that would possibly see this post and be more apt to book with me. And I was able to target a location. So I targeted the whole northern New Jersey, New York area so that those are the people that would see it on their feed. I was also able to pick the age range of people that I could target. So my ideal clientele would be somewhere in their like late 20s to 40s, 50s, like somewhere within that range, you know. They want to stay up to date. They might love an LA hairstylist to do their hair and they have money to spend on that. So that's kind of how the strategy worked. And then you pick how much money per day you want to spend. And then you pick a photo and a caption that can really speak to your current audience, but also that someone who's never met me would see and say, oh, wow, I would love to have that person do my hair. And I actually did get brand new clients that I was able to book across the country, and that way I went home and made money, and it was great. And you can totally do that even like, let's say that's not your situation. You can do it right here where you live and figure out what area of the city you would like to target and who you speaking to and what that post would be. So, when you post something and you have a business account, there's 2 little buttons under your photo, and it says Insights, and the other one says Promote Post. So Promote Post would be how you would do that. And you can play around with it, see what works well for you. When you pay to promote a post, Instagram actually tells you how many people clicked that post and went to view your profile, or how many people that don't follow you saw your post and took action on it. You could also see how many people saved that post. So it's really cool to see that and be able to adjust your marketing plan based on that and start curating the perfect way to start attracting new clients or customers. So definitely outreach. Now, third party applications. So third party applications allow you to stay really consistent and actually map out what you would like to do on Instagram. You can even do it a month ahead of time and have it all ready to go so that you don't have to focus on this every day. So there are apps out there. There's one called Plan, Plann. There's one called Planoly, Hootsuite. And what happens is these apps can actually post for you. So you would upload your content, you can pre caption your content, use the hashtags, and you can set up a whole month's worth of content and have it just ready to go. You can have the app post for you. So use your insights to see when your ideal client, when your audience is online. And then you can choose those times throughout the week, and this app can actually post for you. So definitely check that out. Um, Being consistent is really hard. It's one of the hardest things to do for anything in your life, being consistent with things, it's like you really have to be disciplined and regimented, and life gets crazy, and it's hard to focus on Instagram when you have so many other things going on throughout the day. So I like to think of it as meal prepping. If you really want to be consistent with your diet and your meals, then you would cook a whole bunch of food at the beginning of the week. You would plan it out, you would have it ready to go, and then when you're hungry, you don't even have to think about it. You just eat it. So, just in that same concept, do that for your social media. Plan out what you want to post, what you want to say. That way, when you're stressed, you're tired, you don't have to try to be creative in those times. You can pick a time during the week to do it that you're relaxed, you are feeling good, you're just messing around, you're putting everything together. That way, it's set up for the week and ready to go. So, that's really important, the consistency. If you are not consistent, like I said, no one will see your post. It'll get lost in the algorithm. And also, not only are you consistent with your posting when you do that, but you're also consistent with your brand because it allows you to upload all those photos and then look at how it looks on a grid so you can see it for the upcoming month. And you can play around with it, you can move posts around to make sure that it's how you want your page to look. But it allows you to be consistent time wise, but um, also with your actual look of your page. So all of those things. Okay, how do you feel? We went over a lot of information today. Um, First, for Master Instagram, I talked all about in the beginning portion, just getting your brand right. So making sure everything is ready for that first impression to seal the deal with a potential client or a potential stylist that would want to learn from you and have someone actually follow you and want to engage with you. So, what we talked about here was creating a strategy. So, figuring out, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to attract clients or are you trying to attract an education community? Really being focused on that and try to focus on one. Maybe you're doing both, but focusing on one, you'll really see results. And then next, figuring out your audience. So, what is your ideal consumer or client? Your branding. What is your brand? What is your brand personality? What's your voice? What is your aesthetic? And how do you want that to come across to someone seeing your page? Optimizing your account with that perfect bio and handle and grid so that someone is locked in and they know how to use everything that you just told them. Also, captions and hashtags. So, how to really have a call to action in your caption so you're telling people what to do with the information you're giving them. Creating content, so being consistent with lighting and background and all of those things. Tracking your success with a business profile. So looking at your insights and really seeing what people are already doing with what you're posting and tweaking it accordingly. I need some more water. I'm talking a lot over here. And then we talked about how to work with the algorithm. So, how to actually use it to your advantage and understand how it's working for you and how you can use those relationships to actually interact with your audience more. How to grow your audience with outreach. So, using a hashtag strategy, promoting your post, and also third party applications. So, I hope that you got a lot of information out of today. This is honestly my favorite class to teach because it is so important in our industry And it really is just so exciting to brand yourself and really start using Instagram as a tool to connect and grow your business and have it be more exciting versus feeling like a chore. And I found for me that under once I understood it, that I was a brand and how to be purposeful with what I'm posting, it really was a game changer. And now I get new clients all the time from Instagram. And I also am really interacting with the clients I already have and building deeper connections with them. So it really is amazing. And my name is Tarra Kruper. Once again, my Instagram is at Tarra Takes Over. So Tarra takes over. I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Wella Education and Salon Republic. And feel free to message me, like I said, if you have any questions. And I look forward to seeing you next time. So if you have anything to say, please let me know in the chat. I'll give you just a minute or two because I know it is a little bit delayed. Also, if you are looking to learn more about this, of course, keep attending the classes on Salon Republic on their YouTube channel. There's also classes from Wella Education, so feel free to take a deeper dive and also use the internet. There are so many resources for you that exist. There's books, there's companies, there's blogs, there's so much information about this online. So just get curious and have fun with it. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Have an amazing day and thank you so much for coming.